Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Demon Slayer episode 26. So this is the final episode for the season, or series. I doubt it's the final episode for the series. I did find out earlier today, because I couldn't go anywhere without seeing it, that they are making a movie. I'm assuming based on the next arc, which everybody keeps saying is called the train arc or something. But yeah, went on to Twitter. First thing I see from Crunchyroll is the poster or whatever, the image that they have for the Demon Slayer movie with the Flame Hashira on the front. Go on to Facebook. And the first, between the first and 10 posts on there, about 5 of them were the movie. Go on to YouTube. All the reactors have the Flame Hashira up there as the thumbnail, except for maybe 2 of them. So I couldn't get away from it, seeing as how I don't get to watch anything until I get home, and I'm, pretty much ready to do everything. Usually it's pretty late, 11, 12 p.m. So yeah. All I saw on my notifications was Crunchyroll posted a tweet, or no, somebody retweeted something from Crunchyroll, so I think it was Ufotable reposted something from Crunchyroll, so I clicked on it, and there's the poster. So, yeah. I shared it, so those of you who follow on Twitter know that I shared the image. I'm excited for it, so yeah. Getting ready to put these on. I haven't even... Last episode, we continued the training. Tanjiro is able to explode I guess a medium-sized gourd, about maybe this big or so. He says he is not able to hold the total concentration all day unless he really puts his mind to it. If that's all he's really focused on, then he can do it. But otherwise, it's difficult still. But he is getting better. He has the 3 little girls beating him up at night if he stops using his breathing technique. They were more than happy to help because, he came and asked them, if I stop using the breathing, can you hit me with these, I forget, they're used for laundry, whenever they're up on the clothesline, you hit them, I guess, to get whatever off of them. However, Zenitsu and Inosuke actually joined in this time. They started noticing him training and were getting, I guess, a little worried that they were getting left behind a lot. So they went to Shinobu, asked her what his training was, and she explained it to them that he's trying to do total breathing concentration, or total concentration breathing constant, which allows him to stay in that state 24 hours a day. They didn't quite get it, so she had them try it, and just like with Tanjiro, it took a lot out of him. Tanjiro tried explaining it, but his explanation was not that good. And they're pretty much about to go back to not doing anything. Till Shinobu shows up again. She goes to Inosuke and basically did some reverse psychology on him. She knows what kind of person he is. So she was saying, why can't you do it? I figured out of anybody here you'd be able to do it, Inosuke. It's pretty easy, but if you say you can't, then I guess there's nothing we could do about it. And that just definitely got him. He was like, of course I could do it. And then, I mean, Zenitsu is really easy. She's really attractive, so all she had to do was grab his hand and say that she really believed in him and that she was his biggest cheerleader, and he was on board 100% with doing the training, which they did. They started doing the training, and I hadn't seen Zenitsu train this hard ever. Like, the only time we really saw him doing any kind of training was in his flashback, but even then he was just trying to run away and hide in trees and do whatever he can to get out of doing his training. But now that Shinobu has told him that she believes in him, he's putting everything he has into this training. And Inosuke, he's going to. He's got to prove that he can actually do it. Because according to Shinobu, this is a pretty basic technique. Like, it still takes a lot out of you, because it does take a lot to master, but she says it's a pretty basic technique that just about anybody could learn. I guess they just got to put their mind to it and just keep going with it, and you can just do it whenever. Tanjiro, of course, is ahead of them because he was starting. I don't know how long they've been there, but what, like a month, a few weeks? Not a few weeks, but like from a few weeks to maybe a couple of months, I think. Because I know Zenitsu, he's supposed to take his medicine for 3 months. He's looking a lot better. He was actually I was kind of surprised because he's in his bed and he's actually thinking to himself about the training, and he's talking to his bird. Oh god, what's the name of his bird? Anyway, I think he was actually kind of understanding what the bird was saying, or he was just putting words in the bird's mouth. I don't know. But the bird wasn't like acting like you're not getting what I'm trying to tell you. It looked like the bird was actually maybe being like, oh, he actually understands me this time. But he took his medicine willingly, like nobody had to force him to take it. And then Inosuke got up and he's like, let's go Monitsu. By the end of it, Tanjiro was able to grab the other girl, the one that Shinobu was teaching, and lives with her because, well, we learn her backstory. She was in a very, very poor area, basically a slum. Her parents sold her because, well, they needed the money, and, well, they can't take care of a kid if they're that poor. I'm pretty sure that had nothing to do with why they sold her. They just sold her to some dude. And then Shinobu and her sister come up to them, and the sister is asking, why is this child tied up? And asks her for her name, but she doesn't talk right now. I guess she went through so much that the trauma basically has made her mute. She said she heard something like snap inside of her, and ever since then she's been the way she is. And the guy tells them that the girl, she has no name, and that the parents sold her, and she's tied up so she doesn't try to run away. Shinobu looks nothing like she does now, as in she's got a big frown on her face and is actually kind of angry looking all the time. The sister is the one that has the huge smile on her face, which I'm assuming, based off what we hear later on in the flashback, and the fact that her sister was killed, she's taking on that personality, probably, just for her sister. Anyway, they basically buy her. Shinobu tosses a bunch of money in the air, grabs the rope that the guy has tied around her, at the girl's waist, and they start running. And basically she doesn't do anything on her own. She has to be told to do everything. Otherwise, she won't do it. So the sister, she walks over to her and she hands her a coin and tells her that whenever she's like by herself and needs to make some kind of decision, she's allowed to flip the coin to make whatever decision she needs to. That was brought up because she was using the coin in present time. While the others are training, Shinobu tells her, you should probably go over and train with them since you're all in the same class. And she just kind of walks off. And as she's over by a well, she flips the coin. And we see, I guess it was tails or something. And then that's when we get into the flashback. And then after the flashback, she just walks off again. So he's able to grab her hand, during the tag section of their training. And he was able to splash her with the medicated water. Although he didn't splash her, he just placed the cup on top of her head. He started to feel bad. He was about to splash her. And his inner conscience was like, this stuff really smells. It would kind of be mean if we splashed her with it. So he just kind of places it on her head. Zenitsu and Inosuke see this and are both like, oh crap. And then they start training harder. So, yeah. I'm assuming by the end of this, Zenitsu is going to be working on his way to not have to be asleep whenever he needs to fight somebody. And Inosuke is going to start feeling a lot better about himself because he's going to be strong again in his eyes. Not that he wasn't strong to begin with, but he was kind of depressed from not defeating any of the major demons in the mountain. So, yeah. Anyway, that went on for too long. Let's get into this episode. Alright, so the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.